And we're live. Evening, Martin.
Greetings. How you doing, Carl?
I'm all right if I can stop coughing.
I was going to say, how you feeling, mate?
So I apologise to anyone that's wearing headphones or
anybody who's
or
a bit unaware.
Yeah,
Carl's been mega ill.
So I am recovering from COVID. I had today on Wednesday, and I've been out twice and just can't get rid of this bloody cough. But
yeah, Carl's been mega under the weather. I've had a couple of days off, or I've had flu. So between us, we're pretty much dead and dying. But we put this off long enough.
So we're here anyway because Creality, Mandy at Creality sent a CR10 Smart to Martin, and I will put in the description the link for under the Hotend, the Facebook group. So if anyone wants to come along, have a bit of fun, we've got an interesting competition coming up for the next 4 weeks. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we've actually got a comp on the horizon that's turned into a bit of a monster. Started out quite small. We were thinking, let's have a bit of fun, and it's sort of snowballed into something where we've got lots of sponsors, and it should be really good fun.
Yeah,
we're kind of looking forward to that because it's our biggest event so far, isn't it? Really, Carl?
Yeah, it is. It's gone bigger than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot bigger than I expected.
We're looking at probably about 20 rolls of filament we've got to give away at the moment, if not more.
Yeah.
And we have covered all bases. So we've got America, Canada, UK, Europe. I'm still in discussions about trying to get some for maybe Australia.
But, I mean, we've got some STL vouchers from a couple of companies, haven't we now?
Yeah.
Possibly a couple other things in the pipeline we're waiting to hear back from. So, yeah, it could be quite good fun and well worth entering just for the sake of it, if nothing else.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
If not anything, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that just yet. Let's get on with unboxing the CR10 Smart. So everyone knows I've got one.
Carl's got one. I'm a little behind on this one.
I think I was potentially one of the first really to get it in the UK.
I think you were. I think I'm going to crack this box open while we're talking.
There's lots and lots of delays. Let me put Martin on the big screen. Let's make him famous. And when it works.
So yeah, I mean,
not mine.
I was sort of. Mine was a bit delayed, to be honest, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Whether it's the same as Carl's, whether it's a little bit different, because apparently there's a variant now. So
the variant one was actually Wayne, or KRY10, was the one that actually messaged me yesterday asking about a variant of the Smart. I will put a link actually for it for people to have a look, because his was called the CR Z2.
Okay.
And on
the
box it was different name. On the actual printer itself didn't look as tidy, as clean, but it was slightly different internals, and it had
it was a different base and things, wasn't it, where you had a second section on the panel, so it was cut.
Yeah, no USB on the side, which everyone's using if they're using the cloud, the Creality cloud with the camera. It would have been so much easier to have a board on the bottom that was split in two instead of just one.
Okay,
but anyway, the filament holder I quite like, actually. It's got
it's quite funky. I was just about to say it's quite funky. Although I've got screws shooting around everywhere, they've put the screws in the holder.
Yeah, it's got a couple of bearings in there, so it's quite. There's no resistance. I like that, but I have to say I do come to my CR10 Smart actually and find the filament is sat on the floor because it's falling off. And it does come quite loose sometimes, so yeah.
So it's still on the old white PTFE.
Yeah. Well, there's actually is it the Capricorn? Is it the tubes?
Capricorn.
They're
is it just the white version? Is it, or
No, they're running a competition actually. They posted it on Twitter and Facebook. They're running a competition for Halloween as well, and they've got multiple colours now for all their.
Yeah, I've noticed they've got green and red and yellow,
and they're transparent as well. So they look green, but you can actually see through them, so you can actually see where the filament is.
Yeah, that's cool, because then you can see if it's snapped or it's, not plain ball. Nice little roll of filament. Ideal. We like little rolls of filament. Okay. That's quite smooth, isn't it?
Shut the door. Love you. Yeah, it does run smooth. Oh,
it's quite smooth. Okay, so what we got in here?
Anyway, while Martin's doing some boxing, I'll make myself a little bit bigger because I did get some filament from Creality while I was on my deathbed.
Quite nice. Packed again, as always.
Yeah, I got sent some PR white from Creality. They
okay, so that's the screen separately.
Yeah, so it connects, and it's a bit of a pain to be honest.
Nice.
It doesn't sit on properly.
There we go.
Martin's involved with this as well, so I've been speaking with Sunlu, and Martin has as well, and they sent me their master spools, so it's actually got Velcro.
Yeah, nice.
On there, so you can separate the spool, and you can swap and change what filaments you want. So,
when did yours arrive, Carl?
Today.
Did it?
Today, yeah. I've had 1, 2.
Gantry.
I've had 6 rolls of filament arrive today and yesterday.
Winner. Right. We've got a couple of little packing pieces. This is actually packed really nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's better than the
way it used to be. I'm using all of this to wedge the bed and things like that, which is quite nice.
So, I've just had another delivery, and I've just had my prize from 2 Auto, actually. So I've got
nice.
The power supply that's just turned up.
Oh, I do. Oh, that's quite cute. No, that's quite. I was expecting it to be bigger than that.
I wonder if I can strap my kids up and give them some electric treatment.
Okay. No, that's quite smart. I like that.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing, actually. I have to have a look at that. I've got no idea what I'm doing with it, but it'll be fun.
I think I've got the same one coming, I believe, at some point. Because I did have a solder station, but there was no stock in the UK at the time, so they offered me the power station instead, which I thought was quite cool of them.
I might have to buy a tattoo gun. That'd work on that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Little side hustle. So anyway, talking about filament while Martin's unboxing, I've been talking to a company called Hotend. Never heard of them, but Teddy, everyone knows Teddy on Facebook. Most pleasant, courteous. He's just a very nice human being.
He's a bit of a legend.
He put me in contact with a company called Hotend, and I've managed to wangle a few rolls off them. So this is a marble.
Nice.
And it's got a bit more of a tint of blue than the Sunlu one. So that'll be interesting. And I've got what else have I got? I've got a Pet G, but it's transparent blue. So that could be an interesting one.
Oh, okay, that's quite smart. Like all the tools on this have come in the actual tray for the Smart.
Yeah.
That's
so
quite
it's very much like the CR6. Very similar.
Yeah, I like it. I like the way they've foam cut it all as well. That's quite nice.
And as Wayne keeps mentioning, there is a Discord for Smart, and I will put the link in the description for it. So Martin, I will send Martin the invite, Wayne, don't worry. Someone's actually just designed a modification for the drawer to fit your Raspberry Pi in. I
actually noticed that earlier today, funnily enough. and it did look quite smart. It's encased quite nicely, isn't it?
I think he commented that you needed to put a bit of a hole underneath in the casing to allow the power to get through, and
it's vented well, and it did look. Yeah, I was quite interested, to be honest. It looked quite smart. Excuse the pun. So what we got here? We're going on a wing here because I haven't even looked at the instructions yet. But there you go. Yeah, because isn't the variant has got? You were saying it's got the PI bed, isn't it?
I think Wayne pointed that out. I didn't know if I didn't watch the video all the way through, to be honest, but it did look slightly different to what we've got.
Yeah.
But me and Mark were talking off before, and we have noticed that some countries get slightly different variants of models. I don't know if that's because of the rules and regulations for, say, Canada, or they might get a different model in Thailand. I know they get a different model in China, probably. So,
yeah,
I have messaged him actually at 3D Canada just to find out some information, because I like the interface on the screen.
Yeah, it looked quite smart. I must admit, I watched the same video, and I was quite impressed actually.
I will say that out the box with the firmware, it's not great.
It's not great.
It's not great. I'll be honest. I had no issues because I think I was quite lucky. Mine was quite flat, actually, the glass and the actual bed. But a lot of people have had failures. A lot of people have had problems. There's a lot of people that are still now refusing to use it at the moment because it's just the paperweight. They want the firmware to be functional.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the stories that are out and about, if you like, and they're hit and miss. It's quite a few people saying, it's not what it's sort of set out to be, if you like. But
I haven't updated to the latest firmware. I'm using the first beta that they released.
You're still on the beta, yeah?
I've stayed on it because print-wise, I think the quality of the print's improved. I don't know what they've done to the firmware. I don't know if it's better stabilization for heat, or it's a better feed, or whatever. But I've got no issues with this firmware, and I'm not going to change it because I'm happy. But it has got 5 points for the AUX level.
Thing is, there's no point in changing it if it's actually running. So, there's no major point in swapping, is there?
No. And let's be honest, I did a 91-hour print for a 510% print for a vase, and it came out stunning.
Yeah, that looked nice. That's the one you posted in the group, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. When you kind of sit there and you put it on your slice and you think, I'm going to do this, and then when you actually 90 odd hours later, you're looking at it and you're thinking, why the hell have I just done that? I just wasted 600 grams of filament, but it was nice. I did it. It filled the bed. It basically took up the max height.
I'm a bugger for the same thing. I generally look at it and think, I've got to do that. And then I suddenly think, after I sliced it and pushed print, Jesus, that was a bit too big.
Yeah, it's one of them where you kind of think to yourself, doing the first layer, and you're thinking, that's actually quite big. And then you realise that the vase actually expands about an inch up.
Yeah. And you think, Christ, that is big. Yeah.
And considering this is the actual original size at 100%, this is the actual size of the vase. That's it.
Yeah, you went big. Yeah.
So I've done 100, I've done a 150, I've done a 250, 510. But Clock Springs has
all of those printed on the Smart, did you, Carl?
This was actually done on the Ender 7.
Right.
So I know
you done a couple on the Smart, didn't you?
I've done all the other ones. I did a glitter Galaxy Red on the CR200s, but I did this on my Ender 7 because I wanted to see how much faster it was. And it is.
And is there a massive difference in speed, or is it?
There's a huge difference.
There is a huge difference.
If people have noticed on my TikTok and posts, I've done some pumpkins, and I did Pet G on my Smart and Pet G on the Ender 7, and it took 37 hours on the Smart at 50 millimeters a second. Fair dues. In that time, my Ender 7 started an hour after my Smart, and it took 20 hours to do the pumpkin, and then it took another 6.5 hours to do 2 lids. So in that time, it done.
Just quite a difference.
And that was it. The standard is 80 millimeters a second. I had no stringing.
Yeah, it was quite a different. See,
It was clean.
When the artillery came, I was a bit surprised with that because that one was standard was 80 mil a second. Now I found with the artillery that I've had personally, I print slightly slower on it, and I think the quality works better. It's an okay print. It's all right, but it just seems to lose a little bit of detail. It's just a bit too quick for it, I think. Everything's quite well laid out, and they've taped everything, haven't they?
Yeah, I like the Smart because obviously I started with an Ender 3 V2. I didn't think it was the most solid of footings. You know, it's quite small. Obviously, there's going to be slight kinks or whatever. Smart, it's nicely made. It's a nice design. Yeah,
it is. Everything seems to be where it should be. It's tidy. It's definitely tidy. Putting it together, everything's like really well laid out.
Actually on my Smart, because of the first layers with certain filaments, I've actually got what my first layer the axis should be, the adjustments. So I actually start at 0.35. That's where my best first level is, and I have to adjust it for the second one, and then I just leave it. That's just down to firmware that needs to be tweaked and sorted.
Okay,
But I'll be honest, I've not printed for 2.5 weeks. So they are.
You've had a couple of days, sort of break, if you like, sort of like catching up for yourself rather than printing, haven't you?
Yeah, I'll be asleep after this, but I will say that watch out for a notification tomorrow because I will be going live tomorrow, and it will involve an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I'm not
got your work cut out on that one.
Go, but Dora at Focus or Focus, or however you want to pronounce it, made it possible for me to have an Odin 5. So the kids have claimed it, which I think is a really good printer for them to start with. Direct drive.
I love the Odin. To be honest, I think it's one of the simplest out-of-box printers I've ever had. And it performs really well, to be honest. It just does what it says on the tin.
The fact that it's...
and it does it well.
Yeah, it's an Ender 3 size and it's got dual Z. What more can you ask for, really, from direct drive? There's
I mean, it's actually a touch bigger than the Ender 3, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's
235, isn't it, on the bed by 250 high?
Yeah, my Ender 3 V2 is that, or 235. My Ender 3 is, but it's just if you look at the Smart and the Focus, they're very similar.
They are. They're actually very similar. Obviously, the Smart is ever so slightly bigger. But if you look on the address, they're very similar design.
Well, if you look on the address on the box for the Focus, you actually see it comes from the same building as Creality.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, my box is on my unit for the Focus, so I can't compare. That's a shame.
I think RDB note pointed it out to me when he got his. He said it's the same building as Creality.
See, my Smart was shipped through a shipping company. So on the crate and all the paperwork, there was nothing to do with Creality on it. It really spun me out when this box turned up. I was thinking, who's this from now? So there was a bit of confusion when I first got mine. So
yeah, that's probably why you didn't get charged too much on the import. Didn't say Creality, so they took an extra £100 off for you.
Yeah, my import charge on it was horrific, if I'm honest, because the import charges at the moment for printers has just gone through the roof.
Even more so in the UK.
Yeah.
Whoever said leaving Europe was a good idea is delusional.
Oh, I got some free stickers with mine. That's cool.
Yeah, the innovation ones, is it?
I don't know.
Creality innovation. You might have a certificate in there to say that you are part of some Creality stuff.
I got the look and see it. Great and Dream one. Quite cute. Quite cute. I'm just making sure that I've not actually missed too much here.
So basically, you're putting your braces on at the back.
Braces on at the... Yeah, I've got the diagonals to go on. I've got this white clip here, which I'm not entirely sure what that's about at the minute.
I would potentially order a alloy extruder. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I don't use that.
Okay.
There is actually two different types of smarts. On where the filament runout sensor is in the extruder, there's one that's quite narrow, and that plastic bit you had in your hand there actually fits on perfectly, so it feeds the filament through.
Right.
That extruder, because obviously it's like the Bontet one. It's the same one as the CR6. They do crack. I'm not using a bit of plastic. I don't need it.
There's our braces.
It'd be interesting to see what firmware is installed on it actually when you power up.
So
I connected at the top first.
Yeah, that's just a small one, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I adjusted the tension, when I fastened it at the bottom. Because obviously they rotate a little bit. I actually stuck a halo light on the top of my Smart as well, because
nice.
The LED lights on the side, they're not great if you're doing anything small.
Yeah, it's a bit odd they've gone for that scenario where they put the two little LEDs in the actual side carriage.
It would have been better at the top, pointing
Yeah,
down.
looking down, or maybe a Hotend one.
Well, to be honest, they're quite bright, but if you're only printing something that's like 10 centimeters, it doesn't go near it. It's too low. It points.
I'm with you. See, this is it's quite nice. They're quite a sort of upright brace almost at the back. I mean, the pyramid and the other my Frankenstein that I built, they were the front diagonals braces.
Yeah.
Which is quite a long run, if you like, to brace from bottom to top. Whereas this is quite a short run, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? I've not experienced any issues with any layers or issues or
no Z wobble
in any of the prints or anything like that. It's it's got the dual Z. It's got a belt at the top, so it's controlled. It's quite. It works.
It's nice they're built. I must admit, it is nice these are built. The last one I done, I had to build the diagonal, and it was quite a bit of messing about to get them to the right height. It saves you putting all the rod through the centre and everything. So that's quite nice of them. That saves a bit of time.
It isn't a bad printer. I know a lot of people have had problems with it, and Wayne or KRY he can vouch for the issues. People have had so many issues.
Yeah.
And
but I think,
in my opinion, you shouldn't be sending a printer out that isn't ready to be used. In my opinion, if Foron did it, or if Ratrig did it, or Prusa, they wouldn't be able to sell the printers, the Ratrigs, for £1,000 nearly.
No, there is this.
Or the Forons, or the Prusas. You pay that extra bit of money. Like Jerry, who's in chat, he got a Prusa. He did a weekend build of it live, had issues, and he rang up the hotline, and they helped him out straight away.
Yeah,
put him in the right directions.
Did you see with my Hornet unboxing?
Yes, it was dead, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a DOA basically, and I contacted Artillery, and within literally 2 days, I had a new one en route. So they were really good. And James, that one, touch wood.
Yeah, James at Honey Badger, he had the Focus, actually, the Odin. His was DOA, and I think it was a Saturday night. He contacted him, and he had a new board within 2 days, and he had it up and running.
Yeah, I mean, Focus have been wonderful, to be honest. I had a couple of issues early onset with it, which was more around the Hotend side of things. And I messaged Dora, and within a week I had a new. Well, she actually went above and beyond. She sent a new whole kit. The Hotend, she sent a ribbon cable. She sent all sorts of little bits that I really didn't need, but she sent the whole lot, which I thought was really good of her. Right.
Well, that's it. It's maintaining it though as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
that customer level's not easy to maintain. So
that's where a lot of people sort of don't understand. But having the time to deal with potentially hundreds of people that have silly little issues, or it's very difficult to keep on top and maintain a service that everybody's going to be happy with. No, that's quite nice. I like that. The diagonals are dead simple, aren't they?
Yeah. Like Jerry just pointed out, he's got the CR10 Max, and I think he was saying the braces were at the front, so it limits build height. So it should so they have my Frankenstein and also the Pyramid A1, they're both front. And yeah, it does tend to limit your build area just that little bit. It makes it very awkward to get things to fit in properly. Yeah.
But no, I'm actually quite impressed with that. I mean, the diagonals are nice. The build quality itself's lovely. Everything's taped nicely and kept into place, so that's something. And I'm liking that foam drawer. I really am. I really like the foam drawer.
I've left the foam in there on the top. I've not even used the tools out of mine, so I've just whatever I've got on hand, I've just kept it in there.
So yours is just still pressed in then?
Yeah. Keep it clean.
Nice.
Excuse me for the coughing. I'm still recovering slightly. So what's everyone else doing in chat? What's everyone printing at the moment? Oh, non-fam, have you got your is your droid running yet? Let it cough.
Okay.
They do actually say on the box it's 8-minute or 10-minute build, this, or on the information.
Yeah, I'm going blind here. I've not even looked at the bloody instructions, really.
Yeah, so that goes just... To be honest, I've got mine level with the...
Stepper.
Yeah, where the brace goes down.
Oh, where the stepper is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in front there.
Yeah, it's interesting they've actually dropped it down now. It's quite nice. It's that on the top gantry there, I had the original CR10, I think it was, and it was on that box, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was, yeah, I didn't get on with that. I'd say this is probably the hardest part of the whole build, isn't it?
Yeah.
Putting this one on.
They're a nuisance. Yeah, they're a bit of a nuisance, these little screws, and just... But then again, I haven't got the temper to patience at the moment.
See, to be honest, other than the live stream, that will be coming off anyway, I'd imagine. Because generally I use through a dryer box. I got mine set up so it feeds off my dryer box on my tower and then feeds up to the extruder. But for the sake and purpose of what it is, I'll put it on. I'll probably put it closer then.
So we've got DB3D Dan in here. So if anyone wants to go and follow him, Dan, if you want to post the link for your channel, mate, for your Twitch or your TikToks or your YouTube, just post it and I'll approve it. Or non-fam can do it. He's a mod in the group on here. Jerry, if you want to post your stuff, post your links for your YouTube. Old's got a rat rig minion. He's got one of them. He won it on Sam Penton's.
They look pretty awesome, actually.
So he's I think Dan's twisted his arm to go live with it, with the build. So that'd be good. So I'll make sure I get that posted out into the groups that we got on Facebook, so more people can go over and watch him.
Yeah, that's really good that way, isn't it?
Old at the moment, you've got the end of 3 amp, you're running Clipper, so that's quite fun to watch. Cheers, non-fam. It's a busy evening, isn't it, for the for YouTube? So I know Honey Badger's just gone live. Zachary 3D's going live in a bit. We've got the infamous Loyal Moses going live.
We're the warm-up for all the good people then.
Yeah, the infamous Loyal Moses is going live this evening. And I believe he's on Twitter, he's threatening to take over DB's channel and call it the LM3D and boost 80s music for the whole time.
So, I mean, for me, I mean, I usually use, like a lot of you probably know, I love my artillery and I love the Fukus. I really do, and they're pretty much in constant use. But I actually do a lot of testing for a few design companies, like some of you probably know, Digital Taxidermy. I'm doing some level 472 at the moment, and some of their stuff's pretty cool. It's all like
why are you talking about stuff. Well, why are you talking about DT, Digital Taxidermy? Jerry printed the paint boxes, didn't he?
Yes, the Tidy Town, is it?
Yeah, the clip-on paint boxes, whatever they're called. I can't remember what Neil called them, but Jerry printed them. But last week, Jerry, I think it was last week, did an unboxing for the Focus.
Nice. I caught that one. Actually, I did catch the tail end of that. Well, Neil at Digital Taxidermy has now brought out Tidy Town, which is like a step forward on those paint boxes and things.
Yeah, like a little carry case.
Yeah, they're carry cases, stroke scenery, stroke tidy boxes, which is quite cool. I thought that was quite amusing. It's a little bit different again.
I'll to be honest, I'll put a link for their website anyway. There's lots of free files on there as well anyway. So
yeah, loads of funky stuff. Worth looking.
They've got lots of free STL files for the empty spools. It's better than just binning them. Recycle them, use them. You've got some funky little builds there. They've got it's got lots of World War II files on there as well, so I don't know if people are into all that. But they've
got a lot of funky stuff going on there at the minute.
Yeah, the space rockets and all that are pretty cool. Okay,
it lives.
Yeah, it takes about 20-30 seconds to power up, really, the screen.
Yeah, I've noticed they're not the quickest to power up, are they?
No. Yeah, it looks like you got the 106. So go to the bottom one on that touchscreen.
Well, this one.
On the menu. Is it on? Yeah. What software's on there?
No idea about.
There you go.
CR10 Smart. Yeah, I can't read CR something. I can't read it from that angle. You're closer to it than I am, I think.
0.6. Yeah, I think that's the old firmware. The 1.06.
Cool. I've got we sliced the firmware anyway, didn't we? We compiled it.
Yeah.
So we can bung that in.
Yeah, you need to take the back off the screen as well for that. So that might be better to do offline because it can be a bit of a pain in the backside.
Okay.
There's a couple of, I think there's a cat on there for a test. Cat? Dog?
Oh, well, on that card?
Yeah. It's sellotape to the front next to the screen, I think.
Oh, really?
Is it there's a bit of sellotape next to your screen, is it there? I think mine was sellotaped on
there. I've got a card in the box there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I've gone with a big card then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jesus. It's not the quickest at warming, heating up either. But it's quite a big bed to heat up. But you've got the new clips that Creality use now for the glass.
Easy.
Yeah, so those clips aren't there. So when you undo them, when you lift the glass up, you have to have it at an angle like a 10-15% degree because there's clips at the back. And
you've got like a slot in, haven't you?
Yeah, so I know a lot of people couldn't get the beds level because they couldn't go back under the glass. So just make sure that you actually get the glass under there when you are printing.
Have they got a film on the glass?
Yeah.
That was the only one to be sure of with the focus, actually.
Yeah, they got one under the glass.
Actually got a film. Sorry?
They got one under the glass as well, haven't they?
Yeah, I was going to say theirs has got one under the build plate. Well, this side as well, is it?
No, only on the focus.
Only on the front. Yeah, on the focus, it's got one underneath on the actual metal build plate. Make sure you take that one off.
I've told, I'm not building it. It's up to the kids.
No, but yeah, make sure they take that one off because it's like it will melt.
It just gives some nice fumes off. What they can both read. They can read the instructions. I'll just sit here and make sure they don't.
I didn't even notice it when I put mine together. I didn't even read it, and then didn't notice it in the instruction booklet.
Yeah,
and
Tim noticed that
well,
the other
luckily
day.
I caught a glimpse of it.
Yeah, Jerry pointed out to Tim on his, and he mentioned that it was under the glass as well. So I've seen Tim's videos, so now I know it's there anyway. So
everybody's slowly learning now. Right, so where am I at here, Carl?
So I can't see the screen very well. So it should. What are the options on the screen?
There we go.
So if you push the top one,
home.
All right, what's the next one down?
Print.
There you go. So there's your files that are on there.
Yeah, don't have to load it up here.
It does help. It's not a bad sample, actually, the filament, for a change.
Okay. It's true, there's one of those, isn't it? With that little handle, it's a bit.
Yeah, you have to open it.
Hey?
To feed it, you have to unlock it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a.
Yeah,
I can see that handle being a bit detrimental.
I'll tell you, in about 2 weeks, you'll be replacing it with an alloy one from Amazon because it'll just crack.
I guarantee. Okay. So it's quite a novelty to me because I don't use a lot of BL Touch, to be honest. I'm more of a manual bed leveling kind of guy.
So this ABL is, it doesn't actually say it in the instructions, but you need to do the AUX level first. So that's where you get your piece of paper, get a bit of grip off the nozzle, and that's the height you go for. Unfortunately, it only adjusts at 0.05.
Right, so
it needs to be 0.01. That will.
I'm guessing realistically, that's where we want to be then with bed leveling.
Yeah, so that needs to be final adjustment, and people that are having issues will be able to print better. And especially if you're doing finer details like a 0.12 super quality, you just can't get the height right sometimes. But yeah, so on that one, you only do one AUX, so it just does it in the middle. And then you do I think it's 16 points it does on the bed leveling then. But be mindful, it's likely to crash into the glass as well. Oh no, you've got the 5 there. You got the 5 points there.
Yeah, what I was going to say, there's 5 on this one.
So
look at it.
I think you might have the 107 then. So I adjusted the AUX for each corner, did the bed leveling it now, and obviously I've not used mine for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, but I don't do bed leveling very well, to be honest. Don't do it that often.
It's actually not far, to be honest.
Well, Dan, who's in chat, he's got an Ender 5. He think, if I remember correctly, you did it with your son, the unboxing. I think you got him to do the build, and you've been changing the boards and putting all your magic into that, haven't you, Dan, lately? I'm actually contemplating putting Clipper on my Ender 7.
That would be quite cool.
Because there is a do around for the Creality cloud boxes. You can actually put clipper on them. So that would save me getting another Pi, because I've got like 5 or 6 of them sat here doing nothing. So that could potentially be another project for me to look at when I'm feeling well and healthy and
Alive
every 2 minutes. Because I know RDB's just put clipper on. Which one's he
so
put on?
Do you on yours? Do you auto level straight after? Do you?
Yeah. So it heats the hot end up to 120 degrees, and it will drop temperature by 5, 10, 15 degrees doing it. Don't ask me why. There you go, 108. That's it. So you potentially got the 108 firmware on there. Then you might even have the 1010. Depends what they're shipping with them, to be honest. You haven't got your glasses on, so you can't see properly.
No, I can't see nothing. I'm upside down, so it's a bit.
Ooh, 0.6 mils. I had to do that on some wood PLA, and I'll be honest, it's staying in the box because I didn't like it.
Wood PLA is a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah, I managed to get one vase printed in it, and yeah, just kept blocking. And it tells you don't go above 180, increase by 5 degrees if you need to. It might catch fire. So
it's not the easiest to play with, to be honest.
So what temperature is that now?
Sorry?
Is it at 120? Yeah, it's at 120.
Yeah. I must admit, the design's nice. I do like the design on it.
Yeah, well, I think after a couple of weeks of people starting to get theirs, I actually emailed Creality to ask them for a file, to print the casing, the shroud, the Hotend shroud, because I wanted to do it in a different colour. Yeah. And they said they might release it.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? These will give you the option to play with it a bit.
Yeah. But on AliExpress, the Hotends aren't. You'll find out eventually when you take it off. The Hotends aren't the standard Hotends that you get. For some reason, Creality have decided to make it a bit wider.
Is it that? Yeah, that red, the red anodized one, is it?
No.
No.
I've spoken to Micro Swiss. I've spoken to people at Dragon. The all metal Hotends. They're not sure which ones are fit at the moment, but you can order a whole replacement for £15 off AliExpress. It's the only place you can get them. Creality haven't got them in stock.
Too detrimental though, is it? It's not a bank killer, like.
But it does print nice. It's a big build service. So you can print those helmets that you like to print in your rainbow filament for a gay pride.
That was yeah. Didn't really think about that one until it was about halfway through. It worked. It did work.
I have to go through flow and advanced. Oh, did you sort out your Hotend on yours? Because wasn't you saying that the temperature was dropping? It was fluctuating a bit. So I actually, while I was sent some more filaments to test, I got sent this one. I actually ordered it because the wife.
So
nagging me
actually,
for the
Carl, that
purple.
rainbow
Yeah.
that I done on that helmet, that's actually one of the sponsors of our competition is the maker of that filament.
Yes, it is.
Which is quite cool.
Yeah. So I got, I don't know if it'll come up really well. Hang on, let me make myself a little bit bigger. So I got this purple PLA. The wife's been nagging for some purple filament. She wants some stuff making.
That looks cool.
So it's a nice silk purple. So I'm quite looking forward to using that. But one of the bags is it's not very well vacuumed, so I think that's going to go in the dryer. I got the Galaxy Red from Eon, whatever they're called, and that was
Iron.
Yeah, I had to put that in the dryer for 20 hours to get it to print.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it did print really well.
I was going to say it come out nice. From the pictures I've seen that you showed me, they look pretty cool.
Yeah, it come out really nice, and they've got Pet G as well now. They've got Pet G Galaxy, so and I can't say if it's affected my nozzles because I've not really printed much, but I don't think it really has.
I don't know what any of these are because it's in Chinese, and my Chinese is useless, so we'll just do that one.
Well, what? Yeah, well. Oh, hold on.
What?
Yeah, so one of the issues when they released firmware, actually, one of the betas, everyone on the Discord went nuts and downloaded and tried to do the firmware. So you do the main board first, then you do the board, the touchscreen, and the card's got to be formatted in a particular way. So I couldn't do it on my MacBook, so I had to get my wife's Windows laptop and do that. And one of the issues was as soon as the firmware would go on the car on the screen, it wouldn't work, and it would select its own language,
right?
And it would randomly make a beeping noise. So it's like you're giving it an instructions to move the Z or whatever. So that was interesting. I was having to Google Chinese words to work out what the bloody hell was going on.
How to learn Chinese the hard way.
Oh, it was a nightmare. And there's people now that are still having issues. They'll be printing, and every 30, 40, 50 seconds, the touchscreen is making that beeping noise, and it's highlighting something on his screen. And he's like, I'm having to sit and watch it because I'm not sure if it's going to stop it, pause it, adjust the temperature. But this is the argument. This is the argument at the end of the day. I know that the team that made the community firmware for the CR6s, I know they've said they've got no intentions to make a firmware for the Smart, which basically, they said it's quite difficult to do it and swap over.
Yeah.
Goggle Googles. My iPhone. It was an interesting morning doing the firmware.
I'd say it's not the quickest machine, is it?
What, heating up or doing the bed
heating
level?
Up wise and setup wise.
Well,
I mean, it's all right on heat up. I wouldn't say it's mega slow, but it's definitely not the quickest.
It does the bed first and then it does the hot end, but I don't have the patience, so I just instruct the hot end to go to whatever temperature it's meant to go to.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll get the same.
I've got no patience for that. And to be honest, I'm quite fortunate. I do hit play and start, and I do leave the shed, and I don't have many failures, to be honest with it. Once you kind of understand what you're doing, with it, and get a bit of a feeling how it's going to be for you. But it needs a good slap now and again.
Yeah, you have to coach it along, don't you?
One of the things they have got, so you got your PTFE tube going in there, yeah? So where that goes in, there's actually another piece of PTFE tube about 30 millimeters, 40 millimeters that goes down to the nozzle.
Right, so it's got the Hotend fix like they used to do on the Enders.
Yeah, so I have noticed I do get a lot of blockages when my printer's finished. So the filament's calling in between them for some reason. So I'm having to actually
push it
take
through.
the hot end apart. No, you can't even pull it out because it's not heating that bit. Don't ask me what it's doing. I don't know if it's pushing the filament back a little bit when it's finished. So that bit's warm and it's just getting stuck. But it's a pain in the backside.
Yeah, that's annoying. So, yeah. So basically, you're getting a little void in between there and it's clogging it up.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I have got some measurements off Micro Swiss actually for their all metal hot ends, and they've given me all the measurements for all the ones they do to try and figure out which one will go on the Smart. And I know Slice Engineering have sent me some as well, so I need to go through that. Because I'd like to put all metal on this.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the way to go, wouldn't it?
I'd like it to be a nice little workhorse. But as with everything, it's all about money at the end of the day, isn't it?
Well, that's it. I mean,
it's costing from 3 years ago when we left Brexit or whenever we officially left, everything's gone up tenfold. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, it's insane now. I mean, I have got a Micro Swiss all metal hot end, but I don't think that's going to fit it, is it?
No. And the annoying thing is when you do take the shroud off, have a look and you'll see. So it's got the expanded fins, or whatever you want to call it on the hot end. So your fan that cools the hot end, the screws go from there straight through part of the fins.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's not like, say, like with the Ender 3, where you could change your hot end, anything will fit, your fan shroud will fit on and everything. So it would have to be a complete redesign.
Yeah, so basically you'd need to redo a sort of like housing for it and everything.
Yeah, and it's got a little bracket as well, which holds all the cables, for the ABO and all that. So you got your fan, you got a plastic bracket with some little thin arms or something that hold the cables. And
wonderful.
It's a pain, but yeah, I'd definitely want to go all metal. I'd like to go all metal, to be honest, with them all.
I think it would probably. Well, I think in the end I'll work out a way of doing a custom carriage in the end, or a cooling duct, and working a way that we can.
Well, I could potentially go down the route of using the IQU's Hermit Crab.
The what, sorry?
I've got the Hermit Crab coming, haven't I?
Oh yeah, of course you have. Yeah.
So I've got that coming, and I know we've been talking about the H2, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, I would be tempted to swap that out for a all metal hot end, to be honest.
But I'm thinking about putting the Hermit potentially on the end of 7. I don't know yet.
Yeah, well, that crab's pretty awesome by the look of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks interesting. It looks like there's been plenty of work put into it. It's quite compact with everything. I'd be quite interested to see what it's like then for the tool changing, because I've got the laser coming out, haven't they, soon?
Yeah, I've actually got the original Creality laser still in the box somewhere, so that would be quite cool.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Dora actually. The Focus is next year.
Yeah.
So we potentially will get one for that. But I'm really tempted at the moment to get the Comgrow one, because I know Jerry's got it. The
Comgrow one looks really good, doesn't it? I mean,
so Jerry's got it. He's done about 4 or 5 videos on it. He's got a roller now, I think, to do like glass and cans or whatever.
Wood as well, wouldn't it? It's cutting through wood and
yeah, Tripod's got one. He's been posting some awesome details on Twitter and some Facebook stuff. It looks really, really good.
It does look really strong. I have been following that one quite closely, and it is looking quite good. Out of all of them out there at the minute.
Yeah, there's a few coming out with the old lasers at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, it seems to be quite a big thing at the moment, the old lasers.
Yeah, so I know Longer 3D have got a laser coming out in 2 weeks, which looks very similar to Congro. Yeah, it looks very similar to Congro. So, and me and Martin have also been talking to a company, I'm not even going to pronounce the name, about their resin printer they got on Kickstarter.
Right.
We actually been talking to the person without realising, both of us. So it looks like we might be getting a little bit of help in December sometime with maybe their 2K resin printer. It looks quite nice, doesn't it, Martin?
Yeah, that looks quite smart. Actually.
I'm not pronouncing it. It's Weiss, whatever it is. Was it a toy printer they made, didn't they, originally? I think the first one on Kickstarter was like a kid's introduction. Yeah, if I got a CO2 laser, I think, or anything like that, I think my wife would divorce me. She's not best pleased. I've got 2 printers sat in the conservatory that I'm going to put on for sale, and if not, I'm just going to donate them to school or something. But
I think that's going to be a fail because that ain't sticking at the back.
Yeah, you adjust the Z, baby steps. Touch there. That's it. You should be able to adjust it, bottom left.
That one.
Yeah, and then push the arrow down, and then push the tick. Yeah, I agree, Old. I think the laser. You've seen Tripod stuff on Twitter. You know, he did, as he put, he used some of his retirement fund with the wood that he had laying around because it's that expensive in America. But he did a bauble that came out amazing, and I know he's putting an LED light in it. He did a couple of his logos. They just look really nice. And I think his first one he only did 1 pass over, and then he did 3. It was really nice.
Have you seen the advert at the minute that they're putting out there where they're cutting the wood and they're making like a snowflake out of wood or whatever it is?
Yeah, that's the Robo, isn't it? The Congo Robo.
Yeah, that looks quite good as well. Yeah. That was quite interesting.
So Zachary from Zachary 3D, he got a Robo. He backed it on Kickstarter. I backed it, but then I had, with COVID and all that last 8 months ago, I had to cancel my backing because I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But I do like the look of that because obviously it's got the CNC machine, it's got a laser.
Yeah.
And it looks really robust. It looks heavy. It looks quite strong. And I know Congro retweeted his post about it the other day, but I know Sue's left now, hasn't she? She's left Congro.
Yeah, she's doing learning or something now, which was quite random, but
she's doing e-bikes.
That's the one, yeah. Bit random.
I was like, you've gone from doing their Facebook stuff on Congro, and now you went to the eBay store, and now you've...
but then, to be honest, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, do you know what? It looked a decent bike, but I ain't riding.
Yeah.
So what one have you gone for, the print?
I don't know, because it was all in foreign.
Oh, fair enough.
But I chose the shortest one, which is like an hour and a half.
So it's likely to be the dog or something like that.
It's like a flower. Well, it's like a... Yeah.
How's it looking? Is it going down all right?
It is now. The back was a bit iffy because obviously it was a bit too high, but it's settled down now, yeah.
What's your baby step? What's the AUX? What's your height?
I
should tell you that's Z.
0.40.
Yeah, sounds about right.
There.
My advice is get PEI for it. Makes a world of difference.
Yeah, well, I've actually got a PI that I'm sort of in the middle of getting ready to go on a printer, so that might end up coming along onto this one now.
I put mine on it. I did, like I said, I did Petchy the other week, pumpkin on it, and it just popped off.
Yeah. No, I might end up putting that one across. So I built a case for when I had my Ender Pro that actually slotted into the frame there. So I've still got my Ender Pro, but currently it's in storage until we've got a bigger place. So I might end up putting that one on here, and then later down the line get another one for the Pro.
Yeah, they're cough. But I think I'm gonna have to get off anyway because my cough is killing me. Ooh, but
I mean, all in all, it's doing what it should do, so that's good.
Well, get me some videos, some little videos in a bit, like 10-second ones, and I'll stick it on YouTube on my shorts.
Yeah.
And I'll send them to me. I'll get them on TikTok as well, because if anyone wants to use the hashtag on TikTok under the Hotend, it's there. And digital taxidermy, use that as well.
I mean, anybody who isn't on our Facebook group already, just feel free to jump on over there and join in. And we've got loads of things lined up.
Look in the description. The link for Facebook's there. Do you want to talk about the competition quickly?
Yeah, I think we should. So, myself and Carl have been sort of trying to build under the Hotend for a little while, working with various different producers, and it's starting to take form now. It's starting to turn along.
Yeah, so we had a comp about 6 weeks ago with eNotepad, our first competition, and I think we've just hit 500 members. So considering where we were a few months ago to where we are now, we're a lot better. We're
turning along quite nicely.
Yeah, so we've got filament from Focus for America and Germany.
EYO 3D
for UK. We've got Iron 1, whatever, I can't.
Iron.
So I've got filament for America, Canada, most of Europe. So there's 7 different countries and that. So there's 7 different rolls from them. I've got eNotepad are donating 3 rolls of Petchy, which is quite nice. And I use their Petchy quite a bit, to be honest. It's really nice. Who else we got? We've got a couple that we're sorting out. I've got Creality Cloud. They're going to give us some stuff to donate as well.
We got Digital Taxidermy's chucked in some vouchers for their web store. We've got Level 472 have chucked in £25 worth of vouchers for their web store.
$25, yeah, something like that. But
dollars, yeah. So and that's for anything, any STL packs or files whatsoever on their web store, which is quite cool.
Well, I'm going to try and put a video together anyway on YouTube and TikTok and that to advertise all the people that have kindly donated. I mean, we're not a big group, but what we do is we work a lot with these companies, and they respect what we do for them, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah. Well, it shows that we're actually doing something that they actually think's worthwhile, which is quite nice. That's always a bonus in my eyes.
So the basic rules of the competition, we are under the Hotend, but for a month we are going to be under the pumpkin. That's going to be our hashtag for a month. I think it's a little bit of play on the pun. I think it's Halloween's coming up. Why not? The rule number 1 is you got to print a pumpkin, but we're going to be using Fangs as their search engine. So we need you to link where you got the pumpkin from. There's loads of amazing pumpkins on there, to be honest.
There's some funny pumpkins on there, I must admit.
Yeah,
I found quite a few amusing ones the other night.
And the second one is we want someone to print their favourite Halloween horror. It could be Slimer from Ghostbusters. It doesn't have to be painted. You can leave it. You can just have green filament if you want. But what we want is you to give it a nice name, a bit of a funny name, and a little bit of a story about it. And then we'll be doing the draw after Halloween. Martin's away for a couple of days, so that's all good.
Finally.
We'll get around to doing that. But yeah, so we will be getting everything out this weekend about that.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited actually because it's if anyone like Dan, it's not easy to get some people to back you to have a little
I
bit
think
of
we could.
belief.
I think some fun things could come out on of this. Some good posts. Some I
I'm just
always
happy they've given
enjoy
us a
seeing what other
chance.
people are creating.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's about having fun. That's I've got my issues going on with my health and that, but printing allows me to be
Active.
I know. Yeah, it lets me socialise with people.
That's it. I mean, Carl knows very well. My work life is insane day to day. So my evenings and my weekends tend to revolve a lot around 3D printing and sort of having a bit of banter with some of you guys, and talking with different producers and seeing what's new. And I love all that side of it. It gives me that release that I get a chance to talk outside of work.
Yeah, I like, I've had Twitter for years and I use it now and again, but the last couple of weeks have been really good. Like, Old's on there, Dan's on there, Jerry's on there, Lord Moses on there, Zachary's on there. All the greats are on there from the community, and it's a good community to be part of. It's fun,
Yeah.
If you make a crappy print, they don't slag you off. You
That's
slag
it.
yourself off, and then they just encourage it more. But it's fun. It's nice. So, and I think Old's won something here. Well, man, you either have a Prusa Bear
for us is to be able to give back to the guys that have helped us along the way as well. It's what a winner.
Old, you're going to be like me. My missus kicked me in the shed with all my printers. I'm in a 10x8 shed.
My missus hasn't seen my storage container yet. She's going to go nuts when we move.
I've had to put I've put like a blink CCTV camera in it, just to keep an eye on things. I don't let her go on the app, for like checking any of the house or anything, because she looks near. She knows I've got a couple, but she doesn't know I've got a few stuck here and stuck there, and and she's in work today, so she's not seeing the 6 rolls of filament come in. And I'm
going to have to smuggle mine to when we move to the new house, I think, because it could be a sort of marriage ending situation else.
Yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's keeps me happy. Anyway, so I think we're going to get off. I think Martin's going to get on with getting this done. I'll get some videos posted on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all that.
Definitely.
Anyone wants to leave a link for their channel in the comments, do so. I've got no issues supporting everyone else. Just leave it in there. I'll authorise it, or non-fan will authorise it, or Martin. This is what the community is about. At the end of the day, it's good. It's a good laugh. It's supportive. It doesn't matter whether you got 1 printer or 50 printers. You're all in the same boat. We're all learning. Every day's learning 3D printing. So it's fun. Martin's let me come into the Under the Hotend, and we've had so much fun in the last couple of months getting stuff sorted. It keeps me busy, keeps me distracted from my issues in life. So, I thank Martin every day, for giving me the chance.
No, I thank Carl for all his help and everything he's doing for everybody. Is what a guy.
I do a lot for Creality as well. So, and at the end of the day, that's it. Dan's right. Community supports community. It does, and it's just the way it is. So anyway, thank you everyone for coming to watch. Thank you everyone for chatting. Thank you everyone for liking
turning up.
Keep an eye out for tomorrow's appearance going live. I've got my 2 boys building the Focus Odin 5.
That's going to be fun.
Catch fire, or they're gonna like, I don't know, wrap me up in cling film and stick me outside so they can get away with it, or it's going to be great. And from everyone doing it, it looks great anyway. So, but thank you very much. Thanks to Creality for sending it for Martin, to give me the opportunity to do it.
Thank you very much. You'll see more of what this thing can do as we go now. I think I'll be using this quite a lot over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and now I'm getting myself back on the old feet. I will be making some more appearances on everyone's YouTube channels over the weekend. So like Jerry's, and when Dan goes, it is a good community. So thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Fridays, and catch you all later, everyone.
See you later.